It's EFL Cup semi-finals time, and that means Chelsea will take on Middlesbrough at the Riverside Stadium in the first of two legs. But who will play, and how do Chelsea win? Let's get to it. Lads, lasses and the rest of the masses, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mono from Mono CFC and welcome to the lead-in. Like always, I'm going to be predicting the lineups that I feel will play and show how I believe our team could set up tactically. So, without further ado, let's firstly look at our opponents for this match. Middlesbrough are currently sitting in 12th place in the championship table. 11 wins, 3 draws and 12 losses sees them on 36 points, just 1 point above our last opponents, Preston. Middlesbrough vs Chelsea is another fixture with a lot of history. Like our opponents before them, duels between the two clubs go back to 1907, just 2 years after the establishment of the club. Middlesbrough have been in the top division fairly recently, so we have a lot more recent history with them than we did with Preston, with us going into this game on a 9-game winning streak against them. The last time Boro beat the Blues was in the 2006-07 Premier League season, and they will be looking to replicate that here and break that streak. So, how are they planning to try and achieve that? Let's look at the team. Middlesbrough, managed by the ex-United man Michael Carrick, set up in a very standard formation, the classic 4-2-3-1. However, the lineup won't be as standard due to a number of absences they have got for different reasons. First up in goal though, it's guaranteed that Tom Glover will start once more as his counterpart Seny Dieng is away with Nicolas Jackson's Senegal team for AFCON. Tom had a really good showing against Villa last time out and will be looking to do the same here. For the back four, this will be adjusted slightly from that FA Cup tie, but the right back will stay the same for me, Rav van den Berg once more. The centre backs is where we will see change. Matthew Clark retains his place, but his partner next to him I feel could rotate to the more senior and one of their own, Dale Fry. The left back will remain unchanged too, with Alex Bangura retaining his place. Moving into the midfield, this is where a few of the absentees are. Sam Greenwood and Finn Azaz are ineligible to play as they represented other teams earlier in the cup. An Aussie pair of Riley McGree and Sam Silvera are away with their native land for international duty. For the two holding roles though, I don't think much will change here. Daniel Barlaser retains his place, and Hackney likely drops out to bring in the more senior club captain Johnny Howson. Moving into the attacking midfield roles, this is where the rotation really starts. However, Isaiah Jones retains his place on the right hand side of the three. Over on the left, as mentioned before, Greenwood isn't available, so I believe Emmanuel Latalath comes into that role instead. For the central role, this will change too. Morgan Rogers got himself a second yellow in the tournament last time out, so is serving a 1-match suspension, thus I believe Matt Crooks will come in here as a like-for-like change. The man to lead the line up top in the striker position I don't feel will change, so retaining his place in this one is Josh Coburn. Now, I'm not going to talk about Middlesbrough's tactics here like usual, I'll leave that for the full tactical breakdown after the game, but quick reminder that as usual I'll be streaming after the game on this channel to give my first reactions during GBU Live, so come through. However, I will mention a few things of note about them. Firstly, like Preston before them, Middlesbrough's form overall isn't the greatest, having more losses than wins and sitting firmly in mid-table. However, their recent form has improved admittedly. They are on a streak of 3 wins in 6 in all comps and 3 and 5 in the league, and with that impressive display against a great team in Aston Villa last time out, their confidence, especially in their defence, should be quite high. Middlesbrough are usually a pretty attacking team in truth too, so that performance would have been a delight for the gaffer. Overall though, they have scored 38 goals in the league, which is the 9th most amount of goals, which is decently impressive for a team without top quality in attacking areas. The defence is where it kind of falls apart though. They have conceded the 8th most amount of goals with 39, with only 6 clean sheets, which is the 4th worst tally in the league. They will find some reprieve in the fact that this is a home tie. They are much better at their own patch than they are away, so a good performance here could give them something good to build off of or hold onto in the second leg at the Bridge. For all this talk about form though, Michael Carrick has got this Middlesbrough side playing really good attacking football at times. They are incredibly creative and direct with their passing, able to fashion chances from the wide areas or through the centre, and in general are a joy to watch as a neutral. This is quite obvious if you look at the goal contributions from the side. There isn't one player that gets all the goals and assists, it's well distributed throughout the team. Goals can come from anyone and anywhere, so we'll have to be on our toes defensively for this one. Lastly, I want to highlight the two players I think we need to watch out for. Firstly, Matt Crooks. As just shown, he has 11 goals/assists in 27 games, a very decent return from that attacking mid-role. Out of all attackers that I think will play, he's certainly someone I'd keep an eye out for. The other is a player that you might not expect, but it's Barlaser in this midfield role. He has 5 assists from this deeper position, and Middlesbrough love to play these direct balls when in possession to their forwards. If they time the runs and get the passes right, they could very easily open us up. It's worth mentioning that there is no VAR in this game, so marginal offside goals could stand in this one if the linesman misses it. We have to make sure that these opportunities do not happen, and I'll touch on how in a moment. So, as always, I'd like to focus more on our own team from now on, so speaking of the Blues, let's talk about Chelsea. But real quick, if you're enjoying the content and want to see more, please consider subscribing to the channel. Cheers. Let's start with the formation. I'm going to be putting us into a very strong team. This is our best chance at silverware, so despite some rotations, we will remain in the 4-2-3-1. First up in goal, I'm going to be putting in Georgi Petrovic. Do I need to say more? The Serbian has been great for us so far, getting a clean sheet last time out against Preston, and Sanchez is not looking set for a return yet, so he's likely retaining his place. Now, the back four will be changed from the starting 11 against Preston in my opinion. Despite his really good performance, in a game of this magnitude I think Alfie Gilchrist will drop out of the side, and Malo Gusto will return to the right back spot. Gusto wasn't great in left back except for his assist, and I prefer to see him on his favoured side for this one. The centre-back pairing will change for me. Disasi will retain his place in right centre-back, but I believe Thiago Silva will come in to replace Levi Colwill in that left centre-back role. Finally, in the left-back position, I will be shifting Levi Colwill over, so he retains his place just in a different position. Moving into the midfield, this will be really tricky because apart from Lavia, all of our starting midfielders are fit at the moment. However, I think the solution that Poch will go with is Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher in the deeper roles, and Cole Palmer in the more advanced role. I think Enzo had a great game last time out, and his ability to control games is so important for this fixture. Cole also has to start, and I don't see Poch dropping Connor for 2 games in a row, plus Caicedo needs some rest. For the final 3, this is again really tricky. Over on the right hand side though, it has to be Noni Madueke if it's not Palmer here. He was rested for Preston, and if he's not in the starting 11 for this game, I will be shocked. On the left, this is more tricky. I think Nkunku's new hip injury will keep him out of this one, and Mudryk didn't really have the best game, so I am putting in Raheem Sterling as that's who I think Poch will opt for. Finally, this leaves the striker. Armando Broja retains his place as Jackson is still away, and he'll be hoping to score once again here. Now, I'm going to break down how I think we should play in order to get a result against Boro, but before I do so, it's time for the question of the day. As always, I'm going to highlight some of the comments from the last video, so here are a few responses to the last question of the day. Thanks guys for your continued support as ever. If you want your comment to be featured in the next video, leave your answer to this video's question of the day down below with QOTD at the start, as always. So, for this week's question of the day, we'll go for a simple one. Give me your score predictions for this game down below, and tell me why. Alright, so how will we play? Well, I think that this game should be like the last, a convincing win. That being said, I think this will almost certainly be a tougher game. Boro just feel much more like a team that can beat us than Preston ever did, and at home they have all the advantages they could possibly get. I'm going to highlight some keys to success here as always. Firstly, Chelsea need to bring that same energy from the second half versus Preston and not start slowly like we did against them. Middlesbrough have a number of injuries and absentees, so won't be fully up to speed, and so I think smothering them with pressure could be the way forward. An early goal or two would really stamp our authority over our lower league opposition and would help silence the home crowd. I want us to be ruthless in this game from the start like we were in that second half, not only because I believe it's our best chance of winning this game, but the entire tie. Blowing Boro away in the first fixture makes the second leg so much easier, allows us to rotate players for fitness, and focus on the much important FA Cup 4th round tie and the Liverpool game. Okay, quick editor's note, that 4th round tie has actually been revealed now. We're playing Aston Villa and we are hosting them, so it's at the Bridge. Let's go. I usually like to highlight key battles, and in this game I believe it's in midfield. Howson and Barlaser are able to dictate play if we let them. Middlesbrough are a team that is comfortable playing out from the back, comfortable on the ball, and able to play slick football. We will need to disrupt their flow and not allow them any time and space on the ball. Our press needs to be an aggressive joint effort that forces the northern side to blast the ball long and turn over possession. This is why I opted to bring Gallagher back into the side, as I believe he's so good at disrupting teams, especially lower quality ones. The only other thing I would like to see tactically from us is to let Enzo in that midfield drop into deeper spaces and play through him. Connor doesn't need to be tracking back all the time, and I'd like to see Enzo operate as that playmaker on his own, with Palmer and Gallagher pushing up higher and occupying players or making runs in behind. Middlesbrough do like to press at times, and we are definitely able to catch them out with balls in behind, like we saw against Preston in the first half. This game could be a major point in our season. Advancing in this competition puts us one step closer to European qualification, and getting a good lead to take back to the bridge is so important for us in order to do that. We are stringing together a good chunk of wins in recent times, so let's keep this positive energy up and keep winning whilst we have this great momentum. For a score prediction, I'm going to, as ever, predict a Chelsea win, and I'm going to be quite safe in my assessment and say that Chelsea will beat Boro by 2-0. I'm going to say that our goals will come from Broja with another header at the back post from a Gusto cross, and Palmer once again from the penalty spot. But that was just my lead-in match preview for Chelsea vs Middlesbrough. Thank you ever so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on these possible lineups in the comment section below, and if you'd be so kind, subscribe to the channel and leave the video a like if you enjoyed. Don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, or check out some of the other videos on the channel on screen right now. I've been Mono from Mono CFC, and remember, in the rain or in the dry, keep that blue flag flying high. Come on, you Blues.